Hello! I got to do something exceptional today, something I never thought I'd get to do. And that is, I'm here in Finland. My husband and I are here doing some discovery about my family. This is a dream come true for me. It's something I've wanted to do. Funny thing, when we got to Finland, I realized that I hadn't packed a scarf. So guess what? I got to get a scarf that's made in Finland. It's beautiful and it's so soft. And every time I wear it, I just remember where I am. But in the process today, one of the things we did was we drove around the areas where my grandparents grew up. As I drove through there and as I walked along some of the places where it's very likely that my grandparents walked, I learned some things about myself. And one of the things I discovered is that I come from a line of very strong women. That can be a good thing or a bad thing. And one of the things that I thought about as I was walking in some of their footsteps, which I will also get to do tomorrow with my cousin Heimo and his wife Helevi, as we learned some more, and he takes me through areas here in Finland where my grandmother and my grandfather grew up. And as we talked about family history and I discovered more about my roots, this whole theme of strong women came out, and I realized that's a really good thing. My grandmother did some amazing things, as well as some of the other members of her family. But being a strong woman can also create some problems in your marriage. For instance, if in my strength I run over my husband and I don't listen to who he is and the things that he has to say, and I don't make him feel valued, that's not a good thing. So here's a couple things that I learned. First of all, being a strong woman means that I can sometimes be disrespectful. Whenever you've been disrespected, you know what that feels like. It doesn't feel good. And when I run over my husband and being strong and just tell him, that doesn't matter, or why are you feeling that way, or whatever, I'm not treating him with respect. And that belittles him. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. We all need to be treated with respect because of who we are. We are all human and we are created in the image of God and we deserve respect. The second thing that can happen, especially if you've been a woman who has been wounded in any way and you have a strong personality, is that you're going to try and take control. Well, that's not healthy in marriage. Running over your husband and trying to take control over him because you feel wounded is not the way to deal with your wounds. Now, I've talked about that in other blog posts and in other videos, but talking about it with him and saying that you're hurt and we need to talk these things through is a much better way than taking charge and running right over anyone and running roughshod. So this weekend, I have a fun charge for you to do as I'm learning more about my roots and discovering, and my husband is being so gracious and going through all of this with me. Why don't you sit down with your husband, set some time aside, and ask some questions about how you grew up, your family history. And you might say to me, but Kirsten, I don't know my family history and I don't know anything about it. I've never even thought about that. That's okay. Google's your friend. Jump on the internet and see what you can find. See what you can discover that impacts your marriage. Maybe you're going to discover something like I did about there's a strong family thread in there with strong women, or maybe even strong men. Well, how does that affect your marriage? Then I'd love you to come back and leave a comment on this post about what you learned. Anyway, I hope you have a weekend. I hope you discover something new about yourself. And tomorrow, I get to discover even more. So until next time, have a great day.